Hey everybody, it's Charlotte from the Kia Hyundai channel and welcome back. Today is day 4 of Hybrid Week. So of course, we're taking a look at hybrids. So what I have with me today is we have the 23 Kia Sportage SX HEV. And then on this side is we have the 23 Kia Sportage X-Line Limited. So this is just the gasoline version. So I know it's going to be a little bit difficult today. Both of these vehicles are black. If you were just looking at them, it kind of looks like a spot the difference picture. But trust me, there are lots of differences, but there are also some similarities in these vehicles. And what we want to show is we want to show those differences and similarities and figure out which Sportage would be the best for you guys. So I'm going to start over by talking about some of the specs. We're going to start with the HEV. So of course, you guys are very familiar with this vehicle now, but if you're just tuning in for the first time, let's talk about it. So it is a hybrid vehicle, so an HEV, that stands for hybrid electric vehicle. And what that means is it does have a gasoline engine, but it also works with a, need to breathe, with an electric motor. And together what they do is they help create better power and more fuel efficiency for your vehicle. So as far as specs, is it's got 258 foot-pounds of torque, and then for horsepower it's 227, and it's a 6-speed transmission, so lots of power. If power is something that you guys really prioritize in a vehicle, I'm going to talk about the gasoline Sportage specs, but you will see that these ones are certainly more powerful. So moving over to just the gasoline here. Now, I really like this vehicle. This is actually my car, so I have real-world driving experience. I've been driving it for a couple months, and I really like it. But of course, when I drive the HEV, I do notice that difference between power. So what this vehicle is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder GDI engine, and it does not have that electric motor that the hybrid has, of course. And then some of the specs for it is it's 187 for horsepower and 178 foot-pounds of torque, and it is an 8-speed transmission. So those are going to be some of the key differences between these vehicles. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the hoods down, and then we can continue. We'll do a walk around, and I just want to put these down. That way there's nothing obscuring how the vehicle looks, and you can see it in its full effect. Okay, so now we have the hoods down, and I'm just going to take a second to let you take it all in. And now you have to tell me 5 differences that you see. No, I'm just kidding. So let's get into it, and let's take a look at what we have first on the HEV. So again, it's the SX trim. So right off of the bat, I'm going to describe this as a little bit more of a sleek look. And as you can see on this vehicle is we have a little bit more of kind of the silver chrome. We have a little bit more of that than the black. We do have the nice texture on the front as well, on the grille, and it actually is a different pattern than that doesn't make any sense, than the Sportage. And as you can see, also the design of the fog lights down at the bottom, this is different too. Now both vehicles, they have the same for the headlights, and they both have LED bulbs all the way through. So your daytime running lights, your fog lights, all of the lights on the rear, they're all LED for you too. But overall, when you look at the HEV, this one is going to have a little bit more silver accenting on it. And then over here, taking a look at the front of the X-Line Limited, it has a lot more black or darker gray, almost like a graphite color too. So this is where you can see that different grille pattern. So Gabby and I are saying that this looks like shark teeth. And I said that the other one on the SX looks like a Toblerone chocolate bar, if you're familiar with that. So take that however you will. But as you can see, we have the different styling here on the bottom for your fog lights. I would personally say that this is a lot more rugged, less sleek than the SX, but if you want the sleek look, but you don't want to jump into an HEV, then the EX Premium, which is the trim actually just below the X-Line Limited, it does have more of the look of the HEV, a lot sleeker. This is more rugged. A couple other key differences that I'll show you guys is if you can see up at the top, on the X-Line Limited is you have the ladder style crossbars on the top. You do not have those actually on the HEV. And then also your tires are going to be different. So I'll come around and show you guys both of the tires. The X-Line Limited, it does sit up a little bit higher. It looks higher because number one, it has the crossbars, but it also does have bigger wheels on it. These are actually 19 inches. And the rims that come with it, they're really cool. Kind of look like a little bit of a flat starfish, if you will. And these ones are exclusive with the X-Line Limited. And then over here too is we have the dark chrome rims, and these are 18-inch tires, so a little bit smaller. And again, these are exclusive with the HEV SX trim. So those are going to be some of our key differences around. I can show you guys the sides here too. Again, just on the bottom, continuing with that darker gray color, that graphite color. And then again, on the SX, the HEV, it's a lot lighter. So a little bit more contrast. It's like two different things working together, like electricity and gasoline. Wow, so deep. And then I'll show you the rear too. Not too much of a difference on the rear. Again, tail lights, they're going to be LEDs for you. Third brake light is LED too. And both vehicles, let's show you the Sportage, the HEV. Obviously, you have your HEV badging. You've got same tail lights. And then both vehicles have that spoiler obstructed rear wiper. So it keeps the back looking nice and sleek. Very good there. So those are going to be a lot of our key differences on the outside of the vehicle, and we've gone under the hood. So now I think it's time that we hop inside. We'll take a look at some of the tech features that we have too. Okay, so if you've been watching our videos this week, you are going to recognize, hopefully, the interior of this vehicle. Now, for both the X-Line Limited and the SX HEV, we have done videos taking a more in-depth look at the cabin. So if you want to know a little bit more of a comprehensive look at each interior, I'll recommend that you watch those videos, and I'll link them down below as well. I'm going to be primarily focusing on some of the key differences, and I'll talk about some of the similarities too, of course. Some of the similarities is both of them are going to have, premium sound system with the Harman Kardon. They both have memory seats. They're both going to have heated and cooled seats in the front and a heated steering wheel. And then also the seating configuration is the same. So it's going to be a 5-seater, two chairs up in the front, obviously, and then 3 in the back too. Some of the key differences are actually going to start with the seats. So in the X-Line Limited, and I'll show you this too, is it's going to be quilted leather. These ones are actually not quilted leather. They're still very comfortable and it's very nice, but if you want a little bit of extra rugged, a little bit of extra luxury too, then the quilted is super nice for that too. So let's take a look at some of the differences. Oh, we're in accessory mode, so it was just giving me the alert. Starting here with the center, you're going to have your shift-by-wire gear shift, so obviously very different than what we're going to see in the X-Line Limited. And then some of the other things that you're going to have here too is you're going to have your full 360 camera. Both vehicles are equipped with this, and you can actually see all of the cameras on the exterior of the vehicle. So this is your backup camera, what I like to call a bird's eye view camera to see where you are. And then your third person 360, I say third person because it's like if somebody else was looking at the outside of the vehicle, it's from their perspective. I'm going to turn the vehicle on real quick. There we go. And I'll show you that both of them have blind spot monitoring. So we can actually see the tire, and then we can see it on the other side too, our bay door and the grate. And then also, I'm going to turn it off, your supervision cluster, put that back in accessory mode. Come on, come back to me. There we go. So one of the key differences in these vehicles, of course, is going to be the cluster. And depending on which mode that you put it in, it's going to show obviously your speedometer and then also your hybrid system over here, which is currently being obscured just by the battery. We do have an in-depth video that Gabby did yesterday going through the system, so please feel free to check that out as well. And then of course you're going to have your screen here too. It's all laid out the same. The only key difference is going to be, of course, in the HEV hybrid, which is going to make the most sense. So that's pretty much concludes all that is in here in those differences. So let's go hop into the X-Line Limited and see what we've got in there. Okay, so Gabby's doing a nice overview, that way she can show you some of the key differences. We talked and covered most of the similarities while we were sitting in the SX, the HEV, and so we're going to show you primarily the differences in this vehicle, where they differ, and even if it's some of the same items, how they look different. So obviously both vehicles have leather. This is going to be the quilted leather I was talking about, so now we can get a nice good look at that in the front, and I like that. I think it's very luxurious. And if you noticed in the SX HEV is it had a little bit more of a carbon, it looked textured silver detailing here. On the inside this is actually a full wood grain. well, it's a real wood grain, but it's not real wood. And I really like that they chose that for this vehicle particularly, because the outside, it looks so rugged, and this brings that onto the inside of the vehicle, so it keeps a really cohesive design throughout the entire vehicle, which I think was a good choice. I really like it. And then obviously we'll look at some of the other little similarities and differences. Your screen, it's going to be the same. Obviously you're not going to have your hybrid little alert there. And then I'll also show the supervision cluster. You can see that it does look different. It is fully digital, same as in the SX, but of course you're not going to be showing that hybrid mode as well. It's just going to be your tachometer. The door is open, so it's not showing it right now. And then as we kind of pan down into the center, you don't have a shift-by-wire gear shift. It's just standard. And then also one of the key differences is auto stop and go. There we go. So why that's in this vehicle and not in the HEV SX is because the hybrid, because it's the gasoline engine and the electric motor working together, is that vehicle is already more efficient. But what Kia wanted to do is they did want to improve the efficiency on their gasoline vehicles, which is why they introduced this feature and why this vehicle has it, but the hybrid doesn't. So there's a little bit of information that you may not have known. Some people do love the feature, some people don't like it, so you can turn it off if you want, but it's nice that it is included. So that's pretty much gonna finish up the inside here, and I think we've gone through a lot of the key differences and similarities. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. That is going to conclude today's video and the final installment in Hybrid Week. Now tomorrow we do have a really fun video that we've been teasing all week. That's going to be about Smart Park Assist. It was a lot of fun for Gabby and I to film, and I think that you guys will really enjoy it too. And it kind of brings the final culmination of us looking at electric vehicles or HEV vehicles to the end of the week. As always, and if you're new here, we are a real dealership located in Brantford, Ontario. So if you have any questions about these vehicles and want to talk to a sales associate like Gabby, I'm going to have a link down below. That way you can do that. And as always, make sure that you like, you comment, and subscribe so we can keep giving you some of these videos. And we'd love to hear what you guys would like to see next. Thanks so much for watching.